cheater! How do you escape my place? You escaped me while I become the
computer audio. I'm just trying to. No, it makes the yellow.
Better than dark, right?
Well, I like it. I don't like the yellow lighting on your face. You sit down and see if you like that. Sit down. I can always see how it makes you look yellow.
Yeah.
What if I put the curtain down back here?
Hi, Ruth. You're wondering who said that. Hi, Ruth. How's it going, Chris? Are you wearing the same shirt as me?
There. I sure am.
It's the most comfy shirt.
It's my going to bed shirt.
I wore it all day at the lake. I am spent.
Me too. Where's our host?
I know, maybe she forgot.
She-
Hey, Ruth, I'm going to be living not too far from you in such a short time.
That's pretty good. You're going out to Lloydminster?
Yeah, that's not the good part, but yeah. The good part is living near you, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. When are you moving?
We get to be in our next house we're renting October 1st.
Oh,
But
nice.
Randy's going to talk to the company tomorrow to find out if they'll put us up for like a few weeks
Oh,
in a hotel or something.
yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah, because then I can get out of here and clean up this mess.
Yeah.
I can't go anywhere without disaster. That's why I'm going to sit on the floor now and clean up Lego.
Eating.
Look at this. Sad day. How's everyone's day? Did you guys all go outside?
Hey, Lisa, when do you move, or when do you have someone that's renting your place yet?
So we're trying to get our house ready to rent. Someone's asking for a video of my space here because there's not very many, well, it's not recorded yet. So I can show you that this room needs some, it's the day home room that I'm trying to still get rid of stuff. And then we have lived, this was a
Because
hockey
the
room.
kitchen area looked awesome.
Oh, it does. Not now, but that's
Not
the
now.
ceiling. This is the ceiling in the basement in this one room. So we're doing a drop down. And then the carpet is just sitting on here. So it needs to be replaced or we'll put something in. And the walls, it looks nice, but actually all the nails are, I didn't fill in any of these nails. I just painted right on the drywall. So I have to fix that, paint some walls. I'm just going to show you what my bathroom is. So the ceiling up here is all done. Woohoo, woohoo. Looks really amazing. But this is my bathroom. Shiplap, drywall, and a nice shower. There's just a little bit of homework to do. Just a little bit. But this room got painted today.
There always is lots of homework, isn't
Oh.
there?
Like, stay up on it, people. Don't be like me who goes, oh, let's do it later. Oh, it's recording. Shh. Look at that.
Hi, ladies. I know that Raven's having some technical difficulties getting on here, so I'm just going to just chat with you for a minute before she gets here. I just did a major beauty hack with our new blush duos. I like the pink and glimmer. It suits my fair skin. I did the darker part on my cheeks, and I love the other side for a frosted lip look, you guys. Yeah, Lori, I hadn't tried it yet, and it's amazing. So yeah, you got to try that and let your customers know too. Okay, I see Raven here. Thank goodness, Raven. Yay, happy you're here.
Hi guys, sorry about the panic. Internet has been not my friend and technology has not been my friend the last couple days. So yeah, here we are. Okay, hello everyone. How are we? I'm excited that you're here and that you're joining us. I don't know about you guys, but I was thinking today, and it's hard to believe that it's actually been 5 months, pretty much to the day, that this crazy world pandemic has happened. Almost to the day, 5 months. And so I know that I think a lot of us thought by now that it would be over and that some things would be going back to normal. And we were hoping that, you know, we wouldn't be having to do all this crazy virtual stuff. I know for me firsthand, I know that I'm a little bit at my ends with hearing about it. And I know I'm not probably the only one. And I'm like, when is this just gonna be over? And when can I just hug my people again? And, you know, I'm a really like lovey-dovey kind of person. And so not being able to hug and touch and, you know, that sounds bad, but you know what I mean, right? It's a little bit weird. And so I know some of you are probably, you're probably thinking the same thing, right? You're probably thinking, okay, let's do this. But you know what? Here we are 5 months later and it's still the same. Yes, a lot of it has changed for each of us depending on the province that you live in, and you're allowed to do some things and you're allowed to do some other things and you're not, and whatever. But I think what I really wanted to just chat with you guys today about is, you know, what you're doing first and foremost is not wrong, right? I mean, some of us are doing face-to-face appointments right now and using the Mary Kay protocol, and some of us are not. And some of us are doing Zoom appointments and some of us are not. Some of us are being cautious and wearing face masks everywhere they go, and some are not. And some of you are handing out the roll-up bags and taking advantage of all these new things that we've incorporated, and some of us are not. And so I think the first thing that I want to talk about today is that don't feel like you're doing anything wrong, because you're not, right? I want you to know that what you do choose to shift and change is going to make all the difference. And so I wrote this today. I've been working on this all day today when I realized it was my turn to come on. I had heard a lesson last week from a top director, and it really made me think. And so I thought this would be a really good lesson to implement into one of these calls. So I want to go over with you guys some shifts that I made in my life and some shifts that I probably should have made sooner in my business, and some shifts that I'm actually making right now. So I just want you guys to know that not all of these shifts are going to make a difference for you, and not all the changes are going to make a difference in your business, but I just hope that you get something. And I hope that you feel a little butterfly in your tummy that when I speak on something, and then that you go, oh, that you feel that knot. And I think what I really want you guys to realize is that when you feel that, and when you go, and you know, when your body tenses up a little bit, I think that's a spot that you should really listen to your heart, okay? Because I'm gonna go over with you some pretty serious things today. I know we've had some very, you know, low key, help to the point calls. Mine's probably gonna feel at your heartstrings a little bit, and I think that's what my intent is. So most of you know my story and when I started Mary Kay and all that fun stuff. But one of the things that some of you may not know is, so I've been building my business now for 12 years. And 5 years ago, I earned my first top director trip. And it was a very exciting point in my career. And I was thrilled, and I was so proud of myself. And it was like the best thing ever. And then all of a sudden it wasn't. And I actually felt a little bit like I was a fraud, and that I wasn't good enough, and that my deserve level was really low. And for 5 years later, I was very off and on in my business. For 5 years, I made enough money. I made mediocre money. For 5 years after that, I gave into the chatterbox in my head. And I told myself that I wasn't good enough, and I wasn't smart enough, and I wasn't brave enough, and that it was like a fluke, and for 5 years I did power starts, and I did powerful stops, and I compared my weaknesses to other people's strengths like we do, and other people's strengths controlled my thoughts, and what I thought other people were thinking of me was kind of like what was going on in my head. And so we went on track for our car and we missed it, and I begged for an extension, and then I worked my butt off again and I did it. And fear and procrastination led me, and I knew what I needed to do. I've always known what to get in this business and how to get it. I knew I had to hold parties. I knew I had to work for Full Circle. I knew I had to team build, and I've done the work. I had done the work before, and I did the things that I needed to do. But sometimes I would do it, and sometimes I just wouldn't. Right? Do you ever feel like you have that in your business? Sometimes you'll work, and then sometimes you just don't. And so sometimes I would do things that I like to do, maybe that weren't necessarily good for my business, like volunteering my kids at school, maybe helping out at church on the weekends, the extracurricular things that I thought were really good, that made me feel good about myself. Holding skincare classes, yep, I still held them. I held my meetings, I did all that kind of stuff, but I never went full out. For 5 years in my business, the last 5 years, I never really went full out. Something was missing. Now, maybe it was a little bit of my passion. I mean, I've always obviously been very passionate about Mary Kay, but something was missing. And I think it was my belief in myself. Okay, so shift number 1 had to be my belief in myself. Not the what if it doesn't work, or what if I can't do this, and what if I never become a top director again, or what if I never become a national, and I keep speaking of becoming a national and all those things. But what if I tried a little bit harder? What if I stopped procrastinating? What if I did the things that were a little bit out of my comfort zone and uncomfortable to avoid growth, right? So it's what I wanted. I want growth in my business. I wanted to be a top director. I wanted to be the best of the best in the company. But why is it that we avoid growth? Because of the discomfort it puts us through, even though we know it's going to prosper us in the end. Why do we do that to ourselves? What if I got up and I made 10 booking calls and I booked 5 appointments? What if I didn't let the fear shut me down and self-sabotage myself? What if I stopped thinking about what I couldn't do instead of what I could do? I think sometimes what happens is that we know if we say it out loud, people will know when you fail, and people will see what happens. And I think a lot of the times what happens is that when we tell other people what we want to do, all the things that we're working towards, and it doesn't happen, we feel like failures. But what if you gave your business 100% of the effort for the next 90 days? What do you think would happen in your business if you gave it 100% effort in the next 90 days? If you didn't give into your insecurities or your fears, and you threw your heart out on the line, and you ran with your guts and your belief and everything you wanted to do, I mean, what if? Right? That tiny little phrase totally shifted my thoughts. I realized that I am worth more than I give myself credit for. I always was like, yeah, well, it wasn't what I wanted. And then I realized I know this business. I know me. I know my strengths. I know that I was designed for a purpose and to play big. I know that I can choose faith over fear. So if you are stuck, get it fixed. Reach up. Do you know who is watching you and wants to be a part of this journey? What are you waiting for? Truly and honestly, what are you waiting for? It is simply a choice. Be who you were designed to be. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. Just don't give up. If it's possible for others, why is it not possible for you? A lot happens when you decide to make the change that needs to be made. Okay, we all want the same things. We all want the same things. We all want parties without picking up the phone. We all want team members without doing career chats. We all want to be in a car without the cancellations. We all want a paycheck without doing the work. But guess what? It's a package deal. You get it all. You get it all. So make a decision for the next 90 days to go all in, to give it your guts, to give it your heart, to have zero fear. Do not let anything hold you back. What if for the next 90 days that you made the decision that this was going to be your year? This was going to be your year. That's what I did. That's what I did last year. For me, I finally made that decision. 30 faces every month, no matter what. 30 faces to 50 faces every month. I started to believe in myself. It took a lot. It took me reading positive books. It took me, this is going to sound really bad, but canceling out negativity in my life. Anybody that spoke negatively, I avoided talking to them as much as possible because I knew that it wasn't good for me to be able to believe in myself, right? So I knew I needed to get better every day. I am no different than you. Sometimes I make bad choices, and I did make bad choices in my business. We're all the same. We all have the same 30 days in a month. I mean, seriously, you see DIQs, you see directors who are doing all these magical things, but guess what? They don't have 45 days in the month to make it happen. They're doing all the things that they're doing in the 30 days that they have, but they're just choosing to use those 30 days differently. We all have the same 30 days. We all have the same lessons. We all have the same obstacles. I can almost guarantee you that there's not one woman on this call who hasn't had an obstacle this year. There is not one woman on this call who hasn't had a setback. There is not one woman on this call who hasn't had something to overcome. We all get the same 30 days. So if you know deep in your bones, that you are supposed to be here, and you know that this is where you want to be, then it's time. It's time to make a decision, okay? So don't you believe that you owe it yourself to give yourself the best, right? I believe with all my heart that Mary Kay is the best. It is the best of the best. Sometimes we work, sometimes we don't work. Isn't it great that even when we don't work, we still make a little bit of money and do a little bit of great things? But imagine if you worked, and imagine if you were obedient. I mean, no distractions, no defeat, no coasting, saying no to other people, like making decisions for you, right? I mean, I hear so many times that consultants will be like, oh, well, my husband told me I couldn't do this, or my husband told me I couldn't work today, or couldn't do this, or, I had a cancellation, so I think I'm just going to watch TV. I mean, that is definitely not being obedient with your business, right? That is definitely allowing distractions to play a huge part in your life. And so saying no to letting yourself take unlimited vacation days, I mean, you guys, I get it, okay? Here in Prince George, we're finally getting summer, like finally. We haven't had summer all year long. As much as I would love to go outside and sit in the sun every single day and be on vacation every single day, I know I can't do it. I'm not, like, you have to at some point be so disciplined with your business and obedient to yourself. Okay. Now, I believe that honestly, if we gave it your best and you were obedient, that things would happen. Magic would would happen in your business and you would be so eternally grateful. I know that when I was made the decision that I said, okay, enough is enough. I'm not missing this trip anymore. I am not being a top director anymore. And I took it seriously. I became more strict on myself. I became more disciplined. I work Mary Kay full time. I should be treating this like a full-time business. So I didn't take weekends off unless I worked a full work week. Unless I seen my 8 faces for the week, I didn't take the weekend off. If I didn't see my 8 faces, then I knew that I had to work some more and I had to work on the weekends, right? If I had a cancellation, I had to fill it in before I sat on the couch and I watched TV. Because how many of us get a cancellation and we're like, sweet, and you go head for the couch and do nothing, right? I mean, it happens. We've all done it. So the shift is asking yourself small questions. What can I do differently? How many appointments do I need to hold? How many faces do I need to see? What can I change? How can I make sure I improve? How can I make sure I can improve? And so, everybody's going to be different. Maybe it's posters or Post-it notes or telling your husband or telling your team members, or maybe it's an accountability partner. I don't know what that's going to look like for you. I know it's going to be different for each of you. And it was different for me. This year, it was different for me. It was connecting with women who were where I wanted to be. It was my moving on up directors. Each of us can attest to this. Each of us can attest to this. We kept each other accountable. We picked each other up. We dusted each other off. We didn't let one another forget about the goal, and no one was quitting. No one was quitting. Only the finish line was in our mind all the time. Honestly, every time we talked, it was about the goal. It was about what we were working on. It was about what we were doing. We helped each other. And so maybe that's what you need to do, is find somebody who's going to keep you accountable. Okay. So the second shift is to make better choices. Choose to be obedient in your business because no one else can do it for you. And ask yourself the questions that are going to align with the choices that you make. Say yes today. Tomorrow's not going to be any easier. Tomorrow is not going to be any easier. Next month is not going to be easier when the kids go back to school as much as we think it is, because who knows what that's going to look like. I mean, honestly, my personal shift involves even more personal questions. What's next? What's next? Where do I go from here? That's me. I mean, that's what I had to sit and do, and I had to think, okay, so I earned the trip. I was there. I'm a top director. Again, yay me. Now what's next? Do I just keep shifting and coasting and being happy where I am? Or do I just like, what's next? Where do I go from here? What do I need to change today to work me towards what's next? And what am I working towards? Do you guys know what you're working towards? Do you know what is pushing you forward? So how can you possibly live out your best life if you don't know what you're working towards, unless you're fully committed? Your life goes in the direction of your most prominent thought. National Sales Director Pam Shaw teaches that you can change anything in 90 days. Your brain can also rest a lot in 90 days. So what are your next 90 days going to look like? What do you want to do? What's the one thing that you're going to focus on? The one thing that you want so bad, like that is deep inside you. The one thing feels like that you can't reach, you can't do, but you want it so freaking bad. If you're telling yourself more so that you can't do it than you can, what do you think is going to happen? Your most prominent thought, the one that you think of the most, is actually the direction of where you're going to be. So here's what I'm going to tell you. The year after I did my first trip, I earned a trip to London. Here's the thought that I was telling myself. And actually, Carol can attest to this. Carol's not on today because it's her anniversary, but she can attest to this because I told her this. And I said, I had those thoughts, right? And I said, what am I going to say if I don't do it again? What if I don't earn the trip again? People are going to think I'm a one-hit wonder and that I don't actually deserve it. Those were the words that came out of my mouth. And that was a fluke. Well, that was the most prominent thought in my head. So I missed it. I didn't do it. And then I didn't do it again and again and again for 5 years because that was the thought that was in my head. That was the most prominent thought. Then this year, being a top trip unit and a top 10 unit for my team was my only thought and my only focus because I knew my team deserved to be amongst the top. And I was going to do whatever it took. And even again, at the end of the year, you know, I had those moments of like, okay, it's okay if I don't do it. We had a really good year. And so thank goodness I had my moving on up directors because that thought only lasted like a very little short time. And I couldn't think it because when I have all my friends who are working their hardest to make this happen and not giving up and like doing all these amazing things, I was like, well, there's no way I can't do this. And I know Angie was the same way. Angie had those thoughts in her head. She's like, my friends are doing it. I am not doing it. Right? Like, I mean, you have to have somebody who moves you forward and picks you up. And then, you know what? And we crushed it. We had our best year ever. But that's what became my daily thought, my daily intention. And so what are your thoughts? What are your intentions? What are you telling yourself day in and day out? Right? What's your thought process? Are you saying there's no way that I can reach this? Or are you saying there's no way I'm not finishing this? There's no way I'm not becoming a team leader. There's no way I'm not becoming a car driver. There's no way I'm not becoming a sales director in my director's national family. There's no way that they are celebrating that victory without me. What is the most prominent thought in your head? What are you focusing on? Your daily thoughts make all the difference. So speak them to yourself daily. Tell yourself daily. So shift 3 is remembering the direction of your most prominent thought. That is going to be the trajectory of your growth in your business. So don't ever question what you're doing. Don't ever compare yourself to others. Recognize your thoughts. Don't self-sabotage yourself. Oh my gosh, you guys, don't self-sabotage. Put your whole heart in it. Your whole heart in it. And believe that you can do it. So shift 1 is believe in yourself. Shift 2 is make better choices. And shift 3 is your thoughts. What are you telling yourself, right? What are you telling yourself? Get up every morning and make the difference that needs to be made for you. I truly, truly believe that those little small shifts made all the difference in my business, in me getting up, getting dressed, doing my appointments, getting on the phone, calling the people who need to be called, talking to my team, all the things that I needed to do. It was those shifts, right? It was making a choice to change the things that needed to be changed and do the things that need to do. I mean, when COVID hit, I'm sure you can all agree that our worlds went upside down, sideways, left, backwards, right? We didn't know what was going on. And so what we knew had to change. And so we all had to shift. We all had to make a difference. And so same thing in your business, right? I knew I had to make shifts for my team. And so you have to make shifts for you and your family. So same thing in your Mary Kay business, right? For me, that was things that I did not want to do. I am not a morning person by any means, but I knew I had to get up and get cute with my team every morning because you know why? I knew they weren't. I knew they weren't doing it and that they wouldn't and that it was harder to. And it was harder to be motivated. And I had to figure out a way to do it. So every morning I got up at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. got like, I needed to be fully dressed, fully everything. I mean, cute and ready to go for a Zoom call with my girls and my team every morning because I knew they wouldn't otherwise. I mean, I wasn't. When COVID first hit, I was like in my pajamas till like noon. And some days I would be like, whoa, it's dinner time and I'm still in my pajamas, right? So the shifts that need to happen in your business are going to happen all through your career, all through your journey in Mary Kay. You're going to need to make shifts and adjustments, right? So what is going on that you can change right now? What is it that you want? What is it that you're focusing on? And how can we as your leaders help you? I mean, the biggest thing is making a choice and a decision. I have always said that. I said the choice and the decision in this business is really what's going to move you and set you apart. It's what's going to make you different from everybody else. And so for me, that is what I needed to do. So what do you need to do? What do you need to do to shift and make a difference in your business? Does anybody want to share with us what they think that they need to do and shift and change? Yes, Christy.
Okay, so I have a lot. I just need to stop. This binder is full of leads I've never called, contacted, or messaged. So I have business. Yeah, let's. I saw those wide eyes. Yes. So I just need to stop procrastinating and get past the fear of actually contacting them. Never mind, Johnny. I saw that. Exactly. That's 1 year's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Go, 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 go. I just need to do it. I lost my job a month ago and I'm not self-hitting. I'm not self-sabotaging. Yeah.
You're taking time for you, but you can do it.
Yeah, and that's great. You know, we need to take time for us and we need to make those decisions that are going to help us. But at some point, you got to make that decision and say, do I want to be where I am next year at this time or next month at this time? Right? Those leads are not going to call themselves. Those parties.
I don't want a job. Yeah. It was perfect timing.
But you know what the truth of that is? In order to not have a job, you need to be in action.
Yeah.
We would, us as directors, we would never ever tell you not to go to a job if you're not willing to do the work, right? If you're not going to pick up the phone and call it, I mean, that's your choice, right? You got to make that decision. And we believe that you can do it. We know that you can do it. We've all done it, right? You just got to go and do it. So call those leads. I'm going to challenge you tonight to call 5 of them. 5. I mean, I don't know what you're going to say or what you're going to do, but just do it. Why not? Right? You could do it. Totally do it. How about anybody else? What do you need to change? What do you need to shift right now? What's going to help you shift? Anybody want to share? Anybody? Don't be afraid.
Move my butt and doing it.
Move your butt and doing it. What is it? What do you want?
All the work, everything, the picking up the phone, the booking the appointments, the stop procrastinating. And like you said, it's too easy to sit on the couch after someone cancels, and that's not a good thing. I want it to be more easier to pick up the phone and be like, hey, I had a spot open. I thought of you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. My God. But imagine what if in the next 90 days, if you gave it 110%, what would happen in your business? What would happen in your business? Tell me, you guys. If you gave it 110% effort, where would you be in these next 90 days? Same place?
My team would be active. They would
be active. Okay.
I would have more team members. I'd probably have more inventory. I'd have more customers. I would be done a lot more parties in 90 days.
which is going to lead to what? All that's going to lead to what?
Where I want to be. I want to be where you are.
Well, that's very kind of you. I want you to be where you want to be, right? So wherever you guys, where do you want to be? Do you guys know where you want to be? Do you want to be in a car?
Mm-hmm.
Do
Yes,
you-
I
do
want a
you-
director.
Do you want to be a director? Do you want to lead a team? Where do you want to be? And figure out the changes. So for me, I'll tell you guys, I'll get really vulnerable with you. I want to grow my national area. I want to become a national. And in order to do that, I know there are things that I need to change. And there are things that I need to do. And there are things that I need to focus on to grow as a person individually. And so it's figuring out what that is and deciding how it's going to happen. So I know that I'm at a point in my career where I need a business coach, where I need a personal coach who's going to help me grow me, to help me work on my leadership skills, and just to get to that next level. Because I feel like where I'm at, it's not enough, right? So at some point we have to make a decision that, you know, how can we get the growth that we want? And so that's where I'm at. I've decided to do this, and I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to move myself forward. But, you know, for you guys, you're so fortunate. You have 4 Cadillac sales directors, and I see a lot of directors. You have adoptee directors in here. You have so many people to reach up to help motivate you, to help kick you in the butt, to help say, girlfriend, I'm stuck. What do I do? What do I change? Where do I go? Right? It's a decision, though. It's a decision. Do you want to move yourself forward? Do you want growth in your business? Do you want growth in your life? Do you want money in your pocket? Do you want money in your savings account? What do you want to do? Right? That choice is going to be entirely up to you. That is not something that any of us can do. That is not something that Nadia can do. That is not something that Carol can do. That is not something that Angie can do. We cannot say, hey, this is where we want you to be. This is what we want you to do. That's not how this business works. We are here to love you, to support you, to motivate you in every single way possible. And we're going to believe in you until you believe in yourself. We're going to believe in you until you can believe in yourself. And so in order to get the growth that you want, you're going to have to decide and reach out. Call your director and say, this is what I want. Here's what I'm willing to change. Is there anything that you see that I can change? Right? That was probably one of my hardest questions I had to reach up and talk to somebody about. And I was like, hey, what do you see that I need to change in my business? And, you know, the person said to me, she said, Raven, are you really, really, really ready to hear this? And I was like, oh shit, yes. And I was like pooping my pants, right? And so I was like, okay, take it with a grain of salt, right? And here's the biggest thing. If you ask for help and that you get advice and you don't do it, who's at fault? Because that's a hard lesson I learned too. And so I had a call, and then somebody was like, this person was like, so how did that go? And did you do this and did you do that? And I was like, and so, you know, if we want to be where we want to be, it's up to me, up to you to make that decision. We are here to coach you. We're here to mentor you. I really hope and pray that you make the decision that is going to be best for you. Okay? Whatever that's going to be, make that decision. Make the changes that need to be changed. If that is getting on the phone and calling those damn leads, then call the damn leads, right? If that is, you know, calling that chicken list and asking them to do a virtual appointment with you, then call the damn chicken list, right? We all do the same thing. We all have been in the same rut, if you want to call it a rut. I mean, today is August 19th. We're halfway through this quarter. Halfway through this quarter. If you continue to do what you're doing right now, will you end this quarter where you want to be? Guys, I know you don't want to. You want to be the best. You are a part of the best. So don't don't let all these other things that are holding you down, bringing you down, hold you back. Okay. I honestly believe that if we make those shifts and those choices, that you will have all the ends and then some in your business. So shift 1 is belief. Believe in yourself. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can call these people. I can book parties. I can have 10 parties in a month. I can do this. I can do this. I believe that I can do this. Yes. Okay. Shift number 2 is what? What's shift number 2? Anybody?
Your thoughts.
Your thoughts.
Make better choices.
Making better choices. So when your party cancels, are you going to sit at home and be like, yes, thank goodness they canceled my favorite episode of, I don't watch a lot of show, but Grey's Anatomy is on. Woohoo, I can watch it, right? Or are you going to say, crap, that party canceled. I need to make up for it. I better go book 2 more, right? The choices that you make. I mean, I know this for a fact. I know this. That your sales director prepares a weekly meeting every Tuesday or Monday night. Every Monday or Tuesday. Are you showing up? Are you going up by showing up? I know for a fact, every Wednesday night, your sales director meets with her sister sales directors to set up a call for you to grow. Are you showing up? Tonight you did. Yay! I mean, there are so many things that are set up for you. The choice is yours to show up and go up. Those choices are yours, my friend. Those choices are yours. Okay, and number 3 is your thoughts. What are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself, well, if I don't become a director, what are people going to say? If I go for the car and I don't earn it, what will people think of me? People will think I'm a failure, that I'm not good enough. Or are you going to say, okay, let's get to work. Let's make this happen. The if, ands, and buts are not an option. I'm going to make this happen. I will be a Cadillac director. Each of you could be a Cadillac director. It takes 90 days to make a decision and get into action. Truly and honestly. I honestly believe with all my heart that every single one of you could be a Cadillac director by Christmas. It's honestly a decision. It's honestly a choice. Right? So, change your thoughts will make all the difference. I know that I probably hit your feel goods tonight and I probably gave you a little bit of a gut punch, but that's sometimes what we need to hear, right? I know for me personally, it's probably the reason I spoke it is because I probably needed to hear myself, right? We get into these moments where we're like, well, I'm not doing the work. How do I expect my people to do the work? I'm not doing the classes. I'm not seeing the faces. How do I expect my team members to hold parties? I haven't held a party in months. I'm not saying this for me. I'm just saying rhetorically, right? If that's the case, we got to be in action. Mary Kay always said the speed of the leader is the speed of the gang. If you want to build a team, your team is going to follow you, right? Do you want to be a good leader? Or, yeah, I'm not going to even say it. Okay. So, in closing, what are your takeaways? What are your thoughts? What stuck out to you? What are you going to implement in your business? Anything you want to share with us?
Remember the direction of my thoughts, because I will self-sabotage just like that without realizing it.
Yeah. Anybody else? What are your thoughts?
By the way, I needed these shifts and that's it. I've made some decisions. I've written the notes. I like the chicken list. I'm definitely onto that. So Yes, I needed to hear this. I've had a nice summer.
Good. It's time to get back to work, right? Yeah. Oh, I hear somebody, but it's quiet. Oh, maybe it's somebody's TV. Anybody else? Takeaways, thoughts, anything you want to share?
I liked when you said, say yes today because tomorrow is not going to be any easier. And it's so true. We're so apt to say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, but it's then the same thing when tomorrow hits. So I really, really like that.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And so who knows, tomorrow might have more obstacles than today. Right? Absolutely. Anybody else? Takeaways? I have to yell at my husband for a second. I have a customer picking up an order. 1 second.
Guys, my takeaway, one of the things that I really like that she mentioned is, what do you have to do? I feel like we all know what we have to do, and there's just certain things that we're resisting. So what is that? And get on it. And for me, it's something so simple. It's simply getting up or before bed, doing that list, what needs to be done. Because I find the days where I have myself planned and prepped and, you know, everything ready to go, I'm highly productive. The days that I don't do a simple thing as like a brain dump or just getting my 6 most important list done or whatever, I seem to be like a hummingbird, just sort of going from thing to thing to thing, right? So it can be something super simple, but it can make the biggest difference. So I like that reminder, Raven. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's so true, right? Like when you don't have like that, okay, this is what needs to get done today, you're flustered, and then you feel like that overwhelming sense, and like nobody wants to work from a place of overwhelmment, right? In their business, like it's not fun when you are structured and you know what you got to do, and yeah, makes all the difference, I believe. Cool. Anybody else? Yes, Lisa.
I just appreciate that you said that if you are in the same trajectory at the end of September, are you going to be where you want to be? And I have a full plate until the end of September, but I can't. I've got a shift right now. As like, I don't know if you know, Raven, but I'm moving to Lloydminster. Yay, my life. So if I'm going to make Star, I better get on the phone. I better get to work. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. And how mad will you be at yourself when you get to Lloydminster and you say, oh shoot, imagine if I would have worked those extra days that I had just a little bit harder, I wouldn't have missed my Star, or I wouldn't, you know, then we get back and then we get mad at ourselves. And when we get mad at ourselves, we keep going down, 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 down. And it's harder to pick ourselves back up. But just, yeah, like you said, get on the phone, start right now, and it'll be done by the end of the week. I think so. Good stuff. Thanks for sharing that with us. Oh, thanks, Angie. I totally forgot. I'm the worst for that. Anybody else? Takeaways, thoughts, excited to implement?
Not to be shy to ask for help when you're stuck. Like you said, we have so many women that are so supporting and willing to give you an idea and help in hand for your business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, I think the coolest thing about this group and us as women is, when I was collectively joining us together, I purposely picked people of different dynamics so that each person had somebody that they could relate with. I mean, I'm sure there's some of you sitting here listening to me going blah, 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 blah. But if it was coming from Carol's mouth, you'd be like, yeah, Carol, holy crap, yeah. Like, because everybody relates to everybody so differently. So if it's Angie that you relate with, I mean, private message her and be like, Angie, I really like what you said last week, blah, 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 blah. She's going to be like, yeah, da, 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 let's go. I mean, that's the point of this big circle of help that we've created for you, right? That is our purpose. So by you not reaching out to anybody, you're truly doing yourself a huge disservice. because you have like 4 of the best here, right? You truly do. So do it. I dare you. Double doggy dare you. If there's somebody that you're like, oh, I really like what she's taught or does or speaks or whatever, then reach out, ask for help. But like I said, you got to be willing to listen to what she has to say. And you have to know that she's going to call your director and be like, hey, tell me about this girl. Does she work? Does she do this? Does she do that? And I'll be like, oh, well, I've told her to do this 17 times and she hasn't done it. So if you can get her to do that, that would be super, right? I mean, because we talk, we know. You guys may not think that we know what's going on, but we know what's going on, right? But you have to be willing and wanting, because if you want that growth, you got to be willing to listen. You got to be willing to change. You got to be willing to adapt, right? We've all had to have those serious, important calls and conversations to move us forward. Okay. Anyone else before Angie does our draw? Takeaways? Excited to implement? Oh, I thought I seen somebody wrenching. Okay, Angie, let's see. I actually, I'll be honest, if I didn't send away the last prize yet, so I haven't forgot. It's on my to-do list. I told you I needed to give myself a check here.
All right. I just need you to pick a number, Raven, between 1 and 20, and that will be our winner. I was just having names and putting them down.
Okay, let's go 19.
Someone who doesn't actually have their name, the Huawei Media something. I don't even know who that is.
Oh, me neither.
If you could come on.
Who's there?
You are? That would be good. If you don't tell us, then we can't.
Does anybody know who that is or have seen it on a different call? Hua Media Player? Are you there? You're not muted. Okay. Mary Kay's rules. You must be present to win.
So yeah, just a reminder, guys, if you don't have your name on the bottom, that you want to do that for the next call so that we have that, okay? Okay, Raven.
Okay.
Pick one between 1 and 20. You can't pick 19.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for you to tell me someone. Let's go 7.
Patricia Cullum.
Yay, Patricia. That's an easy one for me to get to.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Okay.
Angie.
No problem. Thanks for being on. I just wrote your name down because I saw your smiling face.
Yay. Okay, ladies, I hope you heard my heart tonight. I hope that you are excited to go make the changes that need to be made in order to move yourself forward for the growth that you want and the growth that you deserve, truly and honestly, because you deserve it. I can't wait to hear all about it and what you do and the lives that you are about to change. It's going to be great. So have an awesome week, everybody. We'll see you next week, and it'll be Carol gracing us with her amazing presence. And yeah, if you haven't gone on Facebook, wish her a happy 20-year anniversary. Yay, 20 years. That's amazing. Bye, everybody. Have an awesome, awesome week. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Ingen of the Ethiopians saw a new level of stupidity. Non, non, tu sais, un texte, j'ai filmé. Ok, attention. Pourquoi tu me dis ça? J'ai dit, ben, parce que tu venais arrêter. Tu sais, ben, là, tu en live, ça fait, wow, t'es pas mieux. J'ai dit, ok, oui, j'ai fumé du pot, tout ça, oui, mais du pot, c'est plus santé pour toi que de la cigarette. Puis la fille, elle m'a envoyé une vidéo avec une face bizarre comme si elle pouvait pas, j'ai look it up. Elle a fait une minute. Elle a dit, vas-y. Après, I thought, well, I might try weed because all of my friends are stoners. Haha. She said, and you're proud of that? And I said, well, I'm not gonna change my friends because they smoke weed. I'm not saying you should change friends. I'm just saying you shouldn't go and tell people I'm gonna try weed because all my friends do. Because that's just weird. But I didn't was gonna smoke weed. That's why I'm gonna try it. She said, that's exactly my point. Huh? What's heavy?